Wise woman of the portal, dear one, acquiesce with what you deeply want and already know, that it is in silence that you meet, that you become, that you create not only yourself, but the deepest connections among all that is. Life is the invitation to the portal where we transform our coal into diamonds, where we recognize the truth of all symbols to throw us back together into ourselves and into our wisdom. This too I know. I am water, I am deer, frog leaps in me and I leap in salmon. Grandmother spider weaves red threads of connection. The web vibrates as I see as owl. I dance, I am connection. I circle round, I circle back. Lightning brings heaven to earth. Earth rises to meet the divine. This crossing, this meeting is the crux of the matter, our matter, where human meets divine, meets all that is. We tell our stories of this, 1,000 stories, stories of matter that matter. They end as they begin, in silence. So come into the portal of silence, of wisdom, of this too is me, where we shall create, and it will be good. It already is.
Okay, this one, actually, yesterday I was sorting through a pile of paper on my desk and I found this piece of paper with a poem scribbled on it that I wrote about a year ago. So I finished it up. It may not be finished. It probably needs a bit of tweaking, but here it is. May not be that appropriate looking outside either. It's called And Finally the Snow. And finally the snow is gone. Officially, spring arrived a while ago, but Mother Nature pays no heed to merely human decrees. Persephone is coming forth from her deep dwelling place, and she and Demeter rejoice at every bursting bulb and bud. We too should be bursting forth from winter's long imprisoning, with half the world rejoicing in this season's turning, feeling hope at last is vindicated. But for the second year, we're all held hostage by this viral virulence making its lethal way to every nook and cranny. And so our hope to be set free from winter's cold restraint cannot be realized. And our new normal life of isolation, wearing masks, washing hands at every move, continues its demanding hold. It will at some point end, this pestilential plague, but when and how we cannot know. Hope's flickering flame needs tender care, lest it die away, like the millions of our kind no longer here. We must push ourselves to celebrate spring's blossoming in spite of COVID's menace. So take Persephone's hand and dance her round your heart, or sit at her mother's feet and ask to hear their story. That should keep despair at bay, for those who know the pain of long-time separation, the joy of springtime's promise of new life.
Wash your hands. I'm sitting here, enclosed under the sun, afternoon French kiss, where tires are freewheeling the cement and people that are unconsciously offended pump their gas pedal to feel powerful. My pedal bike is wounded, needs more transfer design tar. The collection of the city west became a grandiose statement for its complete stare. My orange and yellow said Sunday BMX did it too. The arm pedal slid off the grease bearing like someone had pushed its weight completely and it's behaved with a different direction. These bikes are all I have for transformation and transportation. I beg with my cares under the city, lights, gloom and zoom. You know what? Batteries don't last for a lifetime. The Energizer Bunny could have been traded off for a MacBook reference. Once upon a time, 3 days ago, a friend said to me the ref. What he really meant was, you know who shouts in the clouds. Across the 7-lane road sits an empire where a truck is unloading 8x8 vrooms, just as a semi squashes every sound as it passes its freight along the walls of the curb. A 90-year-old woman passes by the light and subway, walking her 2 minion dogs. Walking down 3rd Avenue with bike tire flat, grit and determination in the sun I have to show. This is a feature of the human condition. Gentleman said, would you like a ride to bike place? I noticed you downtown waiting for a bus with flat tire. Aston Cycle is close. I really appreciate it. It's okay. I arrived. Young lad said phone's been ringing nonstop. I was like, ha ha ha, hello, hello, hi. Might as well send emojis through the line. He laughed graciously. The valve stem replaced. The liquid in install. Gregory, if the guy has tubes and stainless rims, 25 for each tire. Labor is 25 for each tire, roughly $100. End of April. Let me get into the shop. See if I can get you a better day, okay? Ray Lee, hot rod with dripping spokes. Isn't that what you have right now in Norcal, right? We were looking for the cruisers. You okay, man? Just waiting. Looking up, yes, sir. Pull it out, mom. I'm going to try, yes. Lift your foot up, mom. Match the mountain bike with the Dutch bike. I'd like mango, please. What is it? $7.50. I do have one mango. I'm going to grab the catalog to show you the color. $43.95. Thanks, Matt, I appreciate it. I don't have Staples. I said I'll just call Staples. He laughed loudly. That was pretty funny. I said I'd try to be. Like you guys being accommodating. My humor acts like a dress shirt's a one-day accommodation. I'm sitting here writing. The writing looks up from my eyes. I acknowledge people in their economy visits here in Penny's place. I'll look up and see this woman with sweatpants around her waist, carrying one bagel plastic bag and scrounging at it. She's caught up in only food, and there's everyone else surrounding, including myself. This vantage point, please have courage.
Far unknown for those of eyes, never seen in the seascape. Coral reefs, praised with virgin blue angel water. Promise ripples there within rainbows gathering, or within life's breathing. Dusk to dawn, deep drawn, rafters shining off the moonlight, caressing endless, fore and after, hereafter, thereafter. Breathing winter green, an avatar harlequin in Davy Jones' locker, drifting in Adam's ale. Entwined with undying, ponderous with a new dew, mythical, rhythmical, celeste, worded. Grace upholding, embracing into the deep blue receding, caressing Adam's ale with a keeper's gift to enlighten eternal Eden in the orlock of the raptor's raft.
So I have a new poem for you guys tonight. And this poem is called Goodbye. I wasn't ready to say goodbye. I mean, when is anyone ever really ready? But still, a warning would have helped. I didn't see you walking away, and I didn't see these tears that seem to be here to stay. I just wish I had one more moment to breathe in those green eyes and absorb the warmth of your smile. Kiss the softest lips one last time and tell myself this is goodbye when I close the door. Then maybe I wouldn't be crying for what seems like the 100th hour. If only I had known your last goodbye was the last goodbye I was ever going to get. I would have kissed you one more time before I let you go forever. And I still wouldn't have been ready for goodbye, but at least I would have gotten to say it.
I actually wrote a poem a few days ago, so this is brand new and in celebration of spring. And I was feeling horny, so it's called Love on a Tuesday. Luna lives in a Victorian-styled townhouse with red brick and wood trim, where maple trees canopy the avenue on the other side of Luna's front and yellow door. Clematis climb along the brick, picking at the peeling trim or looking through her mail at letters hand-delivered by a mailman who whistles and notices the hydrangea, swollen and pink, while Luna plays the tuba 1 hour every Tuesday, set to some shared eternal clock, which is why he whistles and notices everything worth noticing where Luna lives.
If the soaring wings of eagles branch out like the veins of trees, and the grass that grows on steep hills breathes like you and me, then at what point are we separate? On what front do we fault? And what I ask is different in lives so large and small. You feel it strange in nature, a cognitive reprieve, the hum of simple tastes there, such life so close to sleeve. Yet it is felt so also in cities, a hum of voices high, a hustling of humanity's strange clouds and thoughts in sky. So not men, nor myths, nor legends, nor beasts, nor gods, nor foes can answer such contentions or explain why the river flows. It is science and religion. It is all in and out the door. Within the seas, within regions, life is love, no less, no more.
Somebody posted, a friend of mine posted a question on Facebook. If you had these 4 magic pills, which one would you choose? And then what I answered was a little bit shorter than the poem, but then I also wrote a poem about that. So here we are. It's called Magic Pills. There we go. 4 magic pills are on the offer. If you could choose only one, which one would you choose? A, to be invisible. I am so loud. Even if I were invisible, I could not keep my mouth shut. Invisibility for me would defeat its purpose. Besides, it took me a century to get to love the way I am. Please don't make me look anything different now. Now that I love to see myself in the mirror, I need to see myself in the mirror. B, to be a mind reader. This superpower is moot. Today, people constantly spew their informed Google search, YouTube video-based opinions. You don't need to read their minds, y'all. They expose their minds like the freshly skinned hide turned inside out. And it looks, smells, and tastes like rotting, run over skunk. Poor skunk. Which crazy would want to be a mind reader today? C, to have $1 million. I have what I need. Probably more than I need. And there is some righteousness in having earned what I need. I have 3 rooms and I need 1. I have 1 car and I need none. I have RRSP that I won't live to use. Besides, if I had $1 million, I'd probably just waste it on booze. D, to return to the past. Okay, this one is tempting. But does it offer redemption? Can I unknow what I know? The places I've been to, can I ungo? Will it make me so pure that I can again get myself dirty? Plus, I would never want to go back to before I was 30. Now, there are a few goods I consider. If you were to offer them, my resolve would wither. If you had a pill, so that I can taste all this delicious ale without my mind going to waste. In the vault of beer, if I could swim without having to puke over the brim. That type of pill I'd certainly get, so that I can drink but not forget. Or, if you by any chance invented the pill that would get someone enchanted. Not just anyone, not just a random lady or sire, but a very specific human, the sole object of my desire. I only want to be loved by the very same that I love. So move along. Be gone, you superpower merchant. That you cannot possibly produce what I could possibly use, of that I am positively certain. Thank you.
You are trying to sleep at night, but the muses are having a ball with you. They want you to write a new book about the secret life of an unknown plant. Then they reveal the ending of a chapter you were working on for weeks, and at the same time, images flow through your sleep-deprived mind like a whole exhibition of paintings. Now the lines of a poem are bubbling up, mixed in with childhood memories from a time you felt like Superwoman, along with the words of the newest SEO expert. Speak to your audience. I don't want to speak. I just want to sleep. Why can't you people visit during regular office hours? Go away. Let me sleep. You wake up tired and irritated. At breakfast, you remember fragments of the night. You finish the unfinished chapter and write down all your ideas, hoping that one day you make them all happen. You realize you will live forever because you have so many things to do.
I have a couple of short ones. Okay. This is called Come With Me. So come with me to between and among many worlds, some visible, many not. Remember that coyote by the side of the highway looking at you? Remember the two wolves from your dream many years ago? They invite, they call you, as do I. Come with me. You are not leaving anyone behind. You, come with me.
This is a poem I wrote about a week ago, based on a quote. It was inspired by a quote from Pema Chodron, who said, "Each person's life is like a mandala, a vast, limitless circle. We stand in the center of our own circle, and everything we see, hear, and think forms the mandala of our life." So this is called Life's Mandala. Here in the still point, the center, the eternal now of this, my life's mandala, I stand and contemplate. Circling me round and spreading in all dimensions, this masterpiece, unfinished yet nearing its completion, is my own life story, my own life history, the creation I've made from my allotted years. The people, pets, and places I have loved are all depicted here, along with what I've done, what has been done to me, what has been done for me, my failures and achievements, my loves, my hurts, my disappointments, my strengths and weaknesses, my dreams forgotten and remembered, my memories, the vivid and the buried, all that my life has realized, all extracted from the realm of vast potential. Some parts of my mandala are smeared, run with blood and tears, unlovely with fears, sullied by pain and heart's cry. Yet other parts shine vivid with joy, delight, and pleasure, a warm sandy beach by an emerald sea in height of summer's glory. Some show struggle and imbalance, while others lie in perfect symmetry. To complete my life's canvas, I will draw from a narrowed field of possibility, for that which is already portrayed will shape what is to come. How will the circle close? No one can tell, but this I know for sure. The circle of my life's mandala will one day be complete, and I will see it with unveiled eyes of love in all its pure perfection.
She's sobbing. Why is my arm bleeding? The security person says you squeezed it. No, I didn't. She's pounding on the door. Let me out. What you going to do if we let you out? Go home. She kicks the door. Don't kick that door while we were trying to help. Oh, razor blades swimming in her mind. The catastrophic to herself. She's scraping on the doors as the security officer continues playing with the mouse, maybe playing solitaire or something. I need to use the washroom. He opened the door. I don't want you to pee on the floor. The police are here right now. I don't want you to make a scene. She went to the bathroom. She was dressed in yellow flannel sweater, her hair messy. I was wrong one way or another. The 2 psych rooms instead of a patient's letter and number, room. There goes, boom, coom, zoom. I'm still writing it because it was pretty intense because she was actually going toward equipment thing too that had like needles and stuff in it, and it was a pretty awkward situation for like the doctors because they had to call down the security, and I was just like, you know, like because I was hoping that they weren't going to slam her to the floor or something because I was there watching this whole thing unfold the whole time, and it was just like it's pretty freaky, and I felt bad for her, and yeah, so you know what? When you see stories on CBC or on the news, and you see something like that happen right in front of you, it's kind of hits close to home.
I call this 6 o'clock thin. The October wind, leaves changing colors. Old man walking home, shuffling feet, loose suspenders, pants dragging along the sidewalks, zipper open and wet. Granny knot tie, uneven buttoned shirt, odd socks half rolled up. Rough grained face, ears wrinkled down. Thick glasses with lost boy's eyes. Lumbering left hand, buffalo sauce. Even song in his head, the words adrift. Subdued, measured, sitting on the bench at the bus stop, staring at cars going by. No heart at his side to guide him, only a cane for a helping hand. Speaking into thin air, unknowing what he said. It's 6 o'clock. Nobody knows him. The wind is getting much colder than before. Knew the way once before. All the tears fall the same. Thank you.
So this one is called Purple, and my sweater is purple, but you can't really see it. It looks black right now. Purple. He told me I was the color purple, unique. You're different than other people, and then assured me that that was a good thing. I blushed and ducked my head, cheeks warming at his compliment as his hands wrapped around mine. I didn't realize until right now that he never actually said he liked the color purple.
We, like wells, gave freely. Like wells, deep and pure, gave unmeasured, gave all. We, like wells, gave all, went dry, and they, cursing us, left and took the pail. We, like wells, lay waiting. Like wells, barren and dry, watched the pregnant skies. We, like wells, holes gaping, heard dark skies break and drop, returning what was ours.
I wrote this one for an ex, so it might take on a new meaning reading it again in the future after. It's called I Do Not Love You to the Moon and Back, because I absolutely hate that phrase. I do not love you to the moon and back, nor do I love you to the stars. I love you to the 10-hour freeway drive it would take me to bring you books in person. I love you to the counter of an airport terminal for plane tickets to somewhere. I do not love you to the moon and back because I do not love outside of reality. To the moon and back is beyond reach, like a midnight fight that ends with I'm sorry and doesn't continue to the next morning where I have the venomous taste of regretful words in my mouth. And the only thing countering them is the deep shine in your eyes telling me, I'm still here, just maybe not right now. To the stars is unattainable. It is a dream in the night, an imaginary poster of perfection, a calendar of never missed dates spanning a whole love. No, I do not love you to the moon and back because I'm in this for reality, for the broken promises and abandoned hopes, for the late nights and tears of sorrow, for the times it seems completely lost, but binds us together still. Because as much as all that arises, I'm in this for the hope as well. The hope that whatever realism brings, it will also bring love. It will bring the canyon hikes on long weekends, the shared lamplight with separate stories, the movie marathons with few words said, but presence and awareness. A known agreement that it is all together, the Wednesday dinners at Irish pubs. So no, I do not love you to the moon and back. I love you in all that is real.
So this one was also for an ex, but before they were future ex, or when they were future ex. Yeah. It's called Something's Worth. All I know is that I don't know anything. I have mistaken. I have fallen. I have got up and I have slipped again. I fought and I lost. I fought and I won. All I know is that nothing is certain. I trusted and I was betrayed. I was interested and I disappointed. I placed the bets and I ended up broke. I placed the bets and I became rich. All I know is that I'm worth something. I stand beside skinny, young, big-breasted blondes and I feel like a piece of... I stand beside those who have no words, no wit, no grit, and I feel like a goddess. I give and it is taken for granted. I give and I receive tenfold. All I know is that I will try again. I will open my arms widely and the arrow will hit me straight through the heart. I will wrap my arms around you tightly and your fingers will wiggle their way to my ribcage. All I know is that I want you to be the one who will inflict my next wound.
Awakening. The breeze ruffles the lake and forms the water into two ghostly-looking light beings, dancing, waving to the rhythm of the breeze as it grows into a wind. The beings dance around and glide on top of the lake. The sun sends millions of sparkles around to break up the reflection made by the bare trees. Birds are busy mating and building nests. Freshly germinated wheat is dressing the dark fields with a green blanket like mother dresses a child.
I don't know if any of you have walked a labyrinth, but one of the things to note about a labyrinth is that there's only one way in and one way out. So there's only one path in it. It's different from a maze where there's all the dead ends and that you can get lost and kind of never come out again. And a labyrinth is not like for a puzzle. A labyrinth is was originally designed to mimic a pilgrimage to a holy place. For people who couldn't actually travel over land, they would mark out a pattern on the ground or on the ground of a church so that people could, walk the pilgrimage to the sacred place. So this poem is called Entering the Labyrinth. Entering the labyrinth. Am I willing to enter? To steal James Joyce's line, yes, I said, yes, I will, yes. I want to go within. I want visions, not illusions. Depth, not blather. Nourishment, not potato chips. Oh, well, okay, maybe potato chips too. We can trust the labyrinth because we can't get lost. There's one way in, no dead ends, only life and more life to find in the center, my center. Roses blooming, mysteries unfolding, iridescence flashing. Open my eyes to see the blessings all around, so that after the journey and the pause, I can bring out the treasure to share and to share and to share again.
Some years ago, no, quite a few years ago now, my mother used to say, I'm glad I don't live in this world. At the time, I thought that pretty funny, but pretty sad as well. Indeed, it wasn't long before she really didn't live in this world anymore. And now I've reached the age where I understand completely what she meant. And that, I think, is pretty sad. After all, there's politics, where seemingly worldwide a mean-hearted, self-centered nastiness from the political right is running things, destroying lives, livelihoods, and landscapes with no consideration, no remorse, so often claiming God is on their side, a God I only see in Hades and his counterparts. Thanks in part to wool over their eyes electors, more because of the candidates they elect, but also because of people like me who care, but are caught up in everyday consumerism, addicted to Amazon, our planet is in grave danger. A future for our species and for myriad others is not at all assured. All of this has me question a core belief, for I used to be certain that people were basically good and kind, that compassion was a built-in trait, one that needed tending, but was there to be cultivated in almost every heart. And now, in the country to the south, it's a crime to leave water for the thirsty, to feed the hungry homeless. But aside from politics, there's so-called progress, especially the technological kind. I have a computer, an iPad, a cell phone, and a smart TV, but I don't know how to use them the way the younger folk do. In fact, I need help to even turn on the TV. So many buttons on so many controls, and even more choices when the screen lights up. Then there's our food, the Monsantos, Bayers, and other companies plowing their way to the bank with cancer-causing, bee-killing abandon, while we're left to consume what they condescendingly allow us for a price, such a hefty price. But I am alive in this world, and when I look a bit beneath the constant horrors being perpetuated by powerful but petty men, I am glad to be still alive, for there is still love, friendship, kindness, beauty for eyes and ears to savor, animals to remind us of our kinship, humor and play, and the ability to create new beauty with poem and painting. So although I distance myself from much of what happens in this world and deprecate so much of modern human life, I celebrate the good and determine to do so mindfully and with a grateful heart. I am glad I am still alive in this world.
September 20th. It's slipping, dipping, and tripping. Ice Cube taught me it's okay to be dangerous. Jim Carrey taught me it's okay to be yourself when you're as crazy as you can effing be. Let's go to this father effing totes. Notice I didn't say mother. Poverty forever. 2 Golden Globes. He's still crying because he felt her. Joaquin Phoenix taught me it's 2020, and he's old enough to talk about himself with the strife of 20 years like carrots with a K, kept his brother alive. He's got a top seller to show you his mind, later Beauty and the Joker's on. Kate Winslet taught me you can fall in love with a man on set and still be married to a man you love. My dad's living in a camper, passing away as Gillen's 3 months in. My mom's mortgage and leverage to now grab onto a future. It feels like days of her past, X-Men, X-People. She's not ready for the crash. 1930 happened before. Love is hard. Love is often willed by your instincts and sabotaged by your brain. Will you see? You have to marry emotion into reality. I grab onto memories that make things slide into drive-thrus, not the ones you're ordering or yelling through. The tough ones that make you run through a fence. The ground is parked bombs. You have to look up into the lights and stage your set like it's peripheral vision. There's gonna be a reenactment. Everyone is caging their own version of it. I've got gemstones and people. I'm smarter than Thanos. But there's Thanos around everywhere I go. The Avengers team are people I make friends with at Hotel Arts Marvels. Say Hotel California one more time, please. I have a Tony Stark in my life. My brother is his son. He's already applied for Juilliard. I'm kidding, but am I really? I missed his entire set because I was in my own mental illness. And how it catapults shame. My brother, probably 140 IQ, and he's barely 16. Me, 79, and I take the checkered flag. But guess what? It's effing flag. 89, 99, 09, 19, and then 20. Memories bank atom bombs in your brain, and the explosion is the emotion.
Glance into the mirror. Stare into the eyes. That's where the beauty really lies.
Tonight, though, writing a poem doesn't feel like enough. With other heartaches, it used to soothe the ache in my soul, but this ache is a burning wildfire seething in my chest, and it will not be soothed by words and tears on paper. What then am I to do, because I fear this fire may consume me before it burns itself out? Your guess is as good as mine, but one thing seems certain, only ashes will remain.
This is titled A Dream Remembered. And it's actually a dream I really did have that got to me. Okay. A dream remembered. Once I dreamt of a simple, unassuming house built at the foot of a lake or the ocean, I could not tell, washed white by the hands of wind and time. The floors were hard and smooth, cool and clean. The walls were bare, all but one. At the end of a hall hung a small and gilded frame, filled with a picture I remember well but could not see. I stepped out into the morning fog, rejoicing in its quiet grace, which claimed the shore, hugged the shore, held the shore in gray and holy arms. A small boat emerged from the eternal gray, gliding on the water's tranquil face, carrying 2 beings, one familiar and an enemy, one foreign and I could sense frail. She was a warrior princess, sitting straight and noble. The hue of her sun-kissed skin had faded like the fog. Long ago, her raven black hair sang. Now it lay in long silver silence. As the boat docked, my husband, or once I called him such, lifted the princess in his arms with a careful tenderness I had once believed belonged to me. He carried her to the door of my white and wind-washed house. Speechless, I let them enter, directed him down the hall, past the small engilded picture, to my bed, hard and hardly used. Bit by delicate bit, he laid her down, while I watched in dumb wonder through a crack in the door. But lo, I felt myself waking. My dream hands clutched wildly at dream door frame, down dream hall, out of that simple and tranquil and perfect dream house. Over the years, I have pondered this dream, the house, the princess, the reverence that wrapped me like the fog in its capable arms. The answers have come to me slowly, floating in on the tides of experience. The home, my new life, divorced, swept clean and bare by the winds of change. And the warrior princess, that ever wild and noble part of me, the one lost or taken or betrayed along the way, the one returned home to me to rest, to heal, to be nurtured and honored, to once more fill my house with the music of her raven black hair and the dance of her sun-kissed skin, wholly and fully awake.
So remember this guy that I said I want him to inflict my next wound? So this is the epilogue, and it's called Epilogue. There is more than one truth. There is your truth and there is my truth. You are from here. You have always been from here. You're male and white and from here. Your truth trumps my truth. There is more than one power. Your power and my power. You are supported by friends who believe in you. You are ruthless, established, and supported. Your power trumps my power. There is more than one forgiveness. Your forgiveness and my forgiveness. I am strong and I don't need to hold on to. I am alone and resilient and strong. My forgiveness does not seek your forgiveness. There is more than one freedom. My freedom and your freedom. I have been through this before. I heal like Wolverine. I have lost my balance, regained my balance, and I am ready to lose my balance again. You wish you had my freedom, don't you?
She chose the path of beauty. She chose to stay close to nature and walk the path of beauty every day. She finds her power walking through the trees in quiet solitude and has a big smile every time she encounters wild animals. She stops at a big fir tree and connects with its ancient energy. She wraps her arms around its wide trunk and breathes in the clean air the plants release. She bows her head to salute the trees and dances along with the wind sweeping through the lush forest. She stops when she hears footsteps and slows her breath down to minimize the noise it makes. To her delight, Mother Deer appeared with a baby wearing Bambi's colors. They chew fervently on fresh leaves as she is standing quiet and still like a statue until they pass her. She remembers on every walk how wonderful it is to live here, where she can have these magic moments. She is content to stay close to nature and walk the path of beauty every day.
This is a poem that has two titles. It's called Faith, or it's called Weeds. I believe in weeds. I know, heresy. But really, look at them. No matter how you cut them down, dig them up, or try to kill them, you still get weeds. You gotta love that tenacity, that resilience. I know I do. Take crabgrass, hated by homeowners everywhere. Well, I'll take it. First up in spring, first up after a mowing, so bright green and luscious, screaming, "Here I am!" Or the chickweed growing in the cracks of my driveway. Little green leaves, like a natural carpet. Drive-in food. I pull into my driveway, lean over, and pick my salad greens for dinner. Even the price is right. It was a long winter this year. It was hard to believe that spring would ever return, but finally, Mother Earth resurrected. And right after the grass came up green, we had dandelions. I love dandelions. You can eat their leaves and their flowers, and their roots can cure just about anything that ails you. They're the first bouquet given by little boys to grateful mothers. They're bright yellow, smiling out from the green grass. When my boy was little, I showed him how to blow the seeds as we ambled down the sidewalk so that everyone could have such beautiful dandelions right in their front yards. Well, not really, but I sure wanted to. Mother Earth, carrier of the life cycle, you did it again this year. May I learn from your ways and rise again and again and again when I'm cut down by this world. Our Lady of the Resurrections, I have faith that you bring life even after the longest winter, because I've seen it.
When I came to the table, I looked out the window and there were 3 deer lying across the road in the grass. So I wrote this. It's temporarily called Resting Vigilant. In the growing dusk, 3 deer are lying in the fallow grass across the way, ears flashing victory to all who understand, white rumps pinpointing their precise location. Cars rush by, people walking dogs speed up to avoid a confrontation, but these 3 deer lie where they are, content, waiting for life to go on. I too need a fallow place to lie, not totally removed from life, but a place to rest and observe, my own antennae tuned to present danger, resting until it's time for life to go on.
Nighthawks. It's called Nighthawks. Beast of the feathered tribe, prowler of the witching hour. Sleep behind the sun eyes, awaken in the dusk. Take flight to steal away the harvest moon. Electrify the urban sorcery, casting silhouettes on the neon hoodoos. Stimulating stalker, the elite of its kind. Beady eyes, wings that reign under the stars. Overtaken by the night, bearing the palm to the seas, the highland. Perch high above the nightlife, then be knighted as the king of the Nighthawks. And that's for all those people who go sleep all day and go drinking all night. So that's the one we're written about.
I feel like some of our poems have a bit of a theme here tonight, even though they're about different subjects. There's, I don't know, I don't have a word for the theme, but I feel like a sense of a theme going on. So I like that about these nights. And then also our muses were obviously talking to each other. Okay, I will go with this one. Who knew happiness would be this scary? Who knew the fear went this deep? Who knew how hard it would be to trust again? The stretching hurts almost as bad as the breaking because we know what's on the other side if the rug gets pulled and it all comes crashing down again. Hope keeps us moving forward. She's dancing around the fire again. But the roots have sunk deep, and it is all we can do to stay here, standing, shaking, waiting, hoping. The bravest souls are the ones who choose to trust again and again and again.
This is a relatively new one. It's titled The Gift. Her soul wrapped in ribbon, once tied in a bow, has come undone. She is unraveling in strange and unstoppable ways. Once the whole package, now a single red strand exposed, snagging on unexpected things. Fearing she will come to nothing but a frayed and loose end, she tries to wind herself back up with bad poetry and tea, soup and books, visualizations before bed, hoping to shut out what triggers her, which is nearly every word that has come out of her mouth in the last year. The world has gone mad, and so has she, only her madness looks like promises she can't keep, plans she unmakes, every haunting dream she ignored. She is unraveling in strange and unstoppable ways, finally realizing, after all this time, she has mistaken unraveling for unwrapping.
This is the one about a box match between the id and the superego. The fight of the century. Ladies and gentlemen, humans and people, welcome to the fight of the century. Yet another one. In the left corner, the mighty, uptighty, and always standing uprighty, the superego. Superego is a calculated fighter, carefully developed strategy, always looks ahead, predicting consequences. Its moves are skillful, though somewhat predictable. Doesn't talk much except to scold. Always plays by the rules. Disadvantage, tires easily. In the right corner, the id. Uncontrollable, unpredictable, never afraid. Always and only looking for immediate gratification. Known to win fights by simply dropping to the ground and screaming for hours. Cheats whenever it can. Its main quality, it is relentless. But this is not their first fight, ladies and gentlemen, humans and people. This rivalry's been going on for how long? 47 years now? 47 years, friends, 47 years. Back in the early days, I remember, id would always win. It would throw a fit. Superego back then was immature, inexperienced, ill-prepared. But superego diligently practiced, ingested only the right food, adopted meticulous sleep regime, and grew stronger and wiser. It also acquired earplugs so as to become immune to id's relentless screaming. If you'd never heard the id screech and squeal, consider yourselves fortunate. Superego may have lost a number of battles, but judging by the fact that we are still here, certainly looks like superego is winning the war. But why have we gathered today? Some of you bought the tickets thinking this is a charity event. I suppose you could say that. See this skinny, angsty, sweaty kid in the first row? This is the protagonist of our charity event, the ego. Believe you me, humans and people, no one is more anxious about the outcome of tonight's duel than ego. You could say that ego's destiny depends on it. The ego only and always does what the winner wants it to do. Even though it has long reached the age of majority, the ego is not capable of independent decision making. Without the superego and the id, the ego would not be able to function. As different as they are from each other, the superego and the id have successfully co-parented this, kid for how long was it? 47 years. But let us not waste time, friends. Enough of history. Let me bring you back to here and now. How are our opponents looking? Never quiet, never still, always heated, rarely chill, relentless and conniving, eat is swearing, spitting, shaking the ropes. Focused, peaceful, somewhat fearful, driven and unforgiving. Super ego is just shaking its head in disapproval. Ladies and gentlemen, humans and people, have you placed your bets? Round one is starting. Ring, ring, ring. Box.
I love, admire, treasure, and appreciate women. Time spent with them feels like connecting with my long-lost tribe. But don't catch them on a bad day. The self-flagellation never ends. My house is a mess. My butt is too big. My breasts are too small. My hair is awful. I'm too young, too old, not enough of this, too much of that. And on the end of the day, every one of us is perfect. Our house is fine as it is. Our butts and breasts are just the right size, even if we had mastectomy. If our guests are focused on the mess, they don't deserve to be there unless they change their view. What we say and how we present ourselves could always be better, but it can always be worse. And if people can't appreciate our humanness, then they should not listen to us at all. Ladies, I have news for you. You don't have to improve yourself because you are perfect, just the way you are.